hello. I apologize for that. Turbo, would you like to come say hello? Everybody wants to see your cute face. That's what they're really here for. 5-minute video of me trying to get my cat to love me. Okay, today we're going to talk about stuff that nobody wants to talk about, but somebody needs to. Okay, anxiety. So I'm just going to start this by saying I don't like to watch videos about anxiety and depression because they kind of trigger me and give me anxiety. Like, thinking about anxiety gives me anxiety. And a lot of my anxiety that I have now is I'm worried that I'm going to get anxious. And then that's going to stop me from doing something, because a lot of it is social anxiety for me and being put in situations that I'm not comfortable with, or I don't know anybody, or things like that. So when I have something that I need to go do, or an event, I say event, I don't go to events, but like a birthday party or something, I get anxious thinking about it, because I'm like, what if I get anxious while I'm there? Then what am I gonna do? But anyway, thinking about anxiety gives me anxiety. And I don't want this to be one of those types of videos, because I have collected a lot of information over the past 10 years, because I've had anxiety for about 10 years. And I think it can really help a lot of people. I know when I talk about it on Instagram, a lot of people message me and say, like, what do you do for this? What do you do for that? Help me. And so I just wanted to make a whole video of all of the non-prescription ways that I deal with anxiety, and I am on 2 prescriptions that do help me with anxiety, and I can tell you about those too. But my big thing is, not everybody has access to prescriptions, and not everybody wants to go on prescriptions, and I completely respect that and understand that, because that was me for a really long time. I just went on my prescriptions about 2 months ago, just because all of this other stuff, it was doing a lot for me, but it wasn't doing as much as I needed it to function daily. I just wanted to give you guys as many tools as I can, and everything that I've collected, because even a lot of this stuff, I keep pointing because I have all of my stuff right here, even all of the stuff that I've learned, I'll tell my doctors about, and they're like, oh, I've never heard of that. So it's just me and my mom doing a lot of research and just trying really hard to not go on prescriptions. But I think if it's not something that's like a chemical imbalance, and it's not something that does need a prescription, that's like situational, this stuff can really help you. So should I give like a synopsis of my anxiety? I don't know. So I was recently diagnosed with PMDD, which I didn't know what was causing all of my problems for a really long time, but pretty much it's premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and it's pretty much your hormone. My body produces too many hormones and at an inconsistent rate, so I get surges of hormones, and those hormones cause me to have anxiety. Like I said, I've only had anxiety for about 10 years because it all started, like, I was outgoing and I was just had no care in the world when I was a little kid, and then it was right around when I started my period and went through puberty and all of that fun stuff that I got anxiety, and it like hit me like a train. I get surges of anxiety. I don't have it all the time, but it's like every few months I'll get a surge of hormones, like a big hormone release, and then I am a mess. And then usually, well, I don't want to say usually, but like recently, my anxiety will get so bad and I can't get it under control that it will kind of spiral me into a depression. So I don't have depression on its own. It's linked to my anxiety, which is common, and there's so many different ways that these things can, do this with each other. But anyway, my anxiety first started when I was like 6th grade-ish, so I don't know how old I was. And the first thing that I learned, so I went on an anti-anxiety, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was a form of antihistamine, and it was like a prescription, and it just made me sleep. It just made me tired. It was a sedative, and I did not like it because I was a zombie all the time, and I would just take it, fall asleep, wake up, my anxiety is still there. Because my anxiety wasn't take a shot every time I say the word anxiety. I'll be dead by the end of this video. Anyway, but my psychiatrist that I went to was just like, here, take this pill and it will make you go to sleep and then you won't be anxious anymore. But it was just too much for me. Like, I could not function on that medicine. So I didn't take it for very long. And then but someone recommended, well, if you're taking a prescription antihistamine, just take an over-the-counter antihistamine, because it'll do the same thing, just less severe, I guess. This is what I take. It's literally children's allergy medicine. This is, I don't know. This is the one I take, and there's a few different types of antihistamines. This is the one that starts with an L. Like, if you just look at the ingredients, it'll say loratadine is what it's called. Can you see it right there? Loratadine 5 milligrams antihistamine. There's one that I think starts with a D, and then one that starts with an A. I found this one works the best for me, loratadine. So it's literally children's allergy medicine. I do 24-hour non-drowsy, and the most you can take is 2 teaspoons or 2 tablespoons, 2 of whatever the measurement is. So because it's 24 hours and it's non-drowsy, I take 1 dose, or like 1 teaspoon, or I think it's tablespoon. Does it say? Oh, teaspoon. Okay. I take 1 teaspoon in the morning and 1 teaspoon at night. So then I never am like weaning off of it, if that makes sense, which I'm not taking this right now, but like when I'm going through a spell of anxiety, this helps. Or if you're just feeling a little bit on edge, or you have something that's like worrying you a little bit, you can take this, and it helps a lot, actually. You wouldn't think so, but like, I've so many times been anxious in a social situation. I'm like, can we stop at a CVS? And they're like, why? And I was like, I need some children's allergy medicine. And everybody's like, why? And I'm like, because I'm anxious and I need some. Please just, I know it sounds weird, but it works. So if that makes sense, yeah, I whatever the max dose is, I cut it in half and I take it every 12 hours rather than 1 full dose every 24, so that it kind of stays in my system all the time. That's the first thing. Turbo, can you not? Turbo's playing with hair bows back there. We're trying to have a serious conversation. And just FYI, check with your doctor if you can take any of the, like, if you are on other medications, ask your doctor first if it will interfere with your medications. It doesn't interfere with any of mine, but I don't want to tell you to take something and then you can't, and then something bad happened. Thing number 2 that I learned. So my primary doctor, lady person, is with integrated medicine. So it's Eastern and Western medicine kind of mixed together. So they give you some suggestions of things that aren't prescription, that might be herbal, that can help you. So this is the second thing. It's called lemon balm tincture, and all of this, like, I have 2 of these that are kind of like weird, like you can't go into Walmart and buy them. So I'll link the exact ones that I use below, because some of these, when they sell them, they can be diluted with other things, or they won't be, you don't want to get anything sketchy. So this is lemon balm tincture. How do I describe it? It's pretty much like CBD oil for like anxiety stuff. It's like a little dropper. You can do lots of things with this. It doesn't say, I think I looked it up, and you can have like 4 dropperfuls a day or something, and it lasts about 4 hours in your system. And there's lots of different things you can use this for. It just kind of calms you down. You can put it in your water, or like whatever drink you're drinking. You can put a couple drops in it, and it'll just kind of calm you down and relieve some of your anxiety. And you can also just put it directly in your mouth, or like when I'm really anxious, I drop it under my tongue, let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then I'll just swallow it. You got a lot of blood vessels under your tongue or something like that. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. And it gets in your bloodstream faster if you put it under your tongue and let it sit for a couple seconds and then swallow it. So yeah, if you need like a steady relief all day, then you can like drop a whole dropper full in your water bottle and then sip on it all day. Or if you need like a immediate, then you can just put it in your mouth and swallow it. So yes, this works very good. My doctor recommended it, and this got me through the past year of my life. This does very well for me. So yes, highly recommend that. My last thing that's non-prescription is, I don't know how to say them. I will just show you. I think it's Xiao Yao San is how you say it. And it's an herbal formula. Don't just Google it. Click the link, like this specific brand and specific dosage if you're following like what I'm saying, because I don't know what else you can find out there, especially it being, you know, Eastern medicine type of stuff. I don't want you to take something that you don't know what you're taking. So this says suggested 3 to 4 capsules 3 times a day or as directed, for professional use only. So I go to acupuncture, and my acupuncturist recommended these. She's doing a lot of Chinese medicine herbal training things, and she recommended these. They do so much, like so much. Everyone needs to take them all the time, because not all the time, but you know, as you need them. They are good for, I don't know, my mom sent me a big list of everything that they're good for, but they help you focus if you're, well, first of all, they help with anxiety. But if you're having the type of anxiety that's like racing thoughts, or like you can't turn your brain off almost, what these do, if you believe in any of this, which I do, because it works for me, so I'm just like, yes, is it clears your liver qi, or chi, whatever you want to call it. And your liver qi is what deals with like racing thoughts and things like that. And it can also help you focus if you need to write a paper or work on an assignment or do something at work, do a project. I don't know what what adults do, but I do schoolwork. So whenever I need to sit down and focus on something, it will help you focus on that. I don't want to say it's like Adderall, but it's like if your mind keeps wandering and worrying about other things, which my anxiety does, it's like something will get in my head and it won't get out. It'll kind of brush that to the side so that you can focus on what you need to focus on, which is very, very, very helpful. It helps with PMS. It helps with just like general frustration. That's also like liver qi stuff, liver qi, I don't know what to call it. Frustration, just like being annoyed at people. I get annoyed at people a lot, so it helps with that. Cramps, like period cramps, which like guys can take this too. If your tummy's upset, like I was nauseous this morning, so I took some and it helped. It literally helps with everything. Would highly recommend those. And I'm a small person, so it said take 3 to 4 capsules 3 times a day. The effects of that last about 4 hours too, like the lemon balm. But I take 2 capsules about every 4 hours. But like if you do the math, you can take 12 a day. You can kind of space it out however you want. So I take like 2 every 4 hours when I'm having a bad day and I need to consistently take. Sometimes I just get in a funk and I need to get out of the funk, so I'll just take some of those and then go about my day, and it helps me a lot. So those are all my non-prescription things that I take that help my anxiety. So I think this video is just going to be everything I take, and then I do lots of other stuff like journal, meditate, do different types of therapy that help me too. So I'll do that like a separate video on that. So this video is not like an hour long. Oh yeah, so I take 2 prescriptions. One of them is birth control, because like I said, my hormone release was all kinds of out of whack. Me and my doctors have been messing around with different dosages of birth control to help even out those hormones. I'm not saying you need to go on birth control if you're anxious. It's something to consider if you aren't sure what's causing your anxiety. Talk to your doctor about it. You might have PMDD like me, or just some sort of inconsistency with your hormones. Even if you're a guy, guys can have hormone inconsistencies. Wouldn't recommend going on birth control if you're a guy. Yeah, it's just something to take into consideration. And then the second one that I just went on is Zoloft, and that was mostly because I got really depressed from being anxious. I was anxious consistently for about 18 months just because I was going through a hard time. I'm sorry if it got really dark. It's like 5, so the sun's going down, and I'm in front of a window. I don't want this to be like hella bright back there, but whatever, it's fine. yeah, I had like 18 months of severe anxiety, and it just kind of put me into a depression, and just self-esteem was bad, everything was bad. So I went on that, and it's helped me a lot. It takes 3 months to take full effect, but it really helped me within the first week or two. And it also is an anti-anxiety. It kind of works with both the anxiety and the depression side. I don't know, it's worked really well for me. And it's not an anti-anxiety like the antihistamine that makes me really tired. It just, I don't know what it does, but it helps a lot. But like I said, if you're not into prescriptions, if that's not the route you want to take, good for you. I did that for a really long time, and I got to a bad place, so I needed a little help getting out of it. And I would like to eventually, wean off and continue to take these couple non-prescription things to help me. It's getting really dark. I need to hurry up and talk faster. But yeah, I just wanted to make y'all aware of the other stuff that I take in case that could be a possible option for you, but that's not what this video is about. If I get closer, does it make it better? I'm just gonna sit like this. If you would like a part 2 to this that is more habits that you can practice that help dealing with anxiety better, let me know. Give this video a like, and I would love to do that for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.